Right, here we are. It's Friday, November 3rd. Thanks for joining me. All right, we're going to be talking about El Nino because we are now in an El Nino pattern. We've been in an El Nino pattern for a while, and it plays a big role in our winter weather. Granted, we haven't quite hit winter yet, but as you'll see in this video, El Nino is affecting us. This is the radar summary, by the way, here this morning out of the Twin Cities, and you can see a lot of virga right now. And of course, virga is precipitation that just simply isn't hitting the ground, and that's why you get this donut pattern that develops near the radar site. I think this is going to be the case here the rest of the day. Just the atmosphere is way too dry to support any significant precipitation. So yeah, we may get a few sprinkles, but that's really about it. And with temperatures in the upper 30s and lower 40s right now, no reason to worry about wintry precipitation. All right, let's get into the talk about El Nino. I'm going to try to make this as quick as possible because there just isn't much going on in the atmosphere right now. And a lot of that is because of El Nino. And I want you to focus on this graphic. Really what El Nino does here, especially in the northern portions of the United States, is we get a warm winter pattern. And I think that is certainly going to be the case here as we get into December, January, and February. But even now here in November, you're going to see we're getting some warm air that comes over the Rocky Mountains from the Pacific Northwest, and then that air sinks and it warms. We also call that a Chinook type of a wind. And that is going to happen here. You'll see it here in early and mid-November. Another aspect of El Nino is that there's usually a strong jet stream that traverses the southern United States. That's where the storm track often will find itself. And we also usually have a split flow weather pattern. So one jet stream, a polar jet, goes north into northern Canada, while this more subtropical like jet traverses the southern United States. And in the middle, we get the split, and that's the reason why it often is warm over southern Canada and the northern United States. You're going to see this here now. These are the heights in the height anomalies, the departures from normal in our atmosphere. And I'm going to put this into motion. Let's rewind it here. And this is today here. You can see there is a pinwheeling large low pressure system up near Hudson Bay, but it really doesn't affect us that much. And we get into what I consider is basically no man's land. To get winter storms, you want one of these blue areas or contracting areas of our atmosphere, or shrinking heights. You want that blue area to be right here if you want a big storm system over Minnesota and Wisconsin, but we're just not getting that. In fact, we're getting a lot of these red areas, which are expanding heights in our atmosphere. Usually that means a warming atmosphere, and that's what we have. You can even see here, this is mid-November. Look at the expanding atmosphere over much of the country, and especially Minnesota and Wisconsin. That just tells me that we're going to have some quiet and at times mild, if not warm air. I'm rewinding this again and going through the first half of November here. Look at this, just really no inclement weather to speak of. So if we do get any precipitation, I think for the most part it's going to be rain through probably mid-November. All right. That was a GFS computer model guidance, by the way. This is also the GFS computer model guidance, and these are the winds, of course. Let's just put jet stream winds up here. These are the winds at 30 to 35,000 feet now. And I want you to focus on the more zonal weather pattern that develops. In other words, we don't get these large troughs that would produce winter storms here during the first half of November. And I'm putting this into motion. There it is. And this is a great example of a zonal weather pattern, a west to east flow across the country. Now, this is November 8th, but this is kind of the case here for at least the first half of November, where the inclement weather and the significant storm system stays out west over California, Nevada, perhaps even Arizona. Meanwhile, we are in a zonal weather pattern which is usually mild. So yeah, I'm not expecting any significant winter storms here, or wintry weather, through probably at least the next 10 days, if not longer. Now, when we look at the European computer model guidance and we put the jet stream on there, you can kind of see the same thing. No real massive troughs or dips in our atmosphere that would produce a large storm system. It's mostly a zonal weather flow, and there it is again as we get into November 8th and 9th, a rapid moving west to east flow across the country, which means Arctic air, for the most part, stays bottled up in northern Canada as southern Canada and the United States get stuck in this no man's land when it comes to the jet stream and the heights in our atmosphere. Now, this is the GFS computer model guidance showing the low level temperatures. These are the departures from normal, and this is also just showing you again how warm it is. I'm going to rewind this and watch how warm it gets here in the lower levels of our atmosphere as we head into early next week. There's Monday of next week, and then here we get into Thursday and Friday of next week, and then next weekend. Look at the warm air over southern Canada and the northern United States. Yeah, if you want snow, this just isn't the pattern right now to get significant snow as we warm up. Wow, look at this. This is mid-November. Look at how warm the GFS computer model guidance makes it across the northern sections of the United States, Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Canada. This could be record high type scenario here if it actually does come to fruition as we get into mid-November. These are temperatures. This is the European computer model guidance. These are temperatures at the surface, the departures from normal, and of course the red areas are warmer than normal. So just once again showing you how warm it's going to be for the most part, especially over southern Canada and the northern United States as we get into mid-November. And of course, as far as precipitation is concerned, which with it being so mild over the next couple of weeks, any precipitation that falls will be brief, quick moving, and will be in the form of liquid, the way it appears. We got a couple storm systems on the way, and I'll show you that here on the trigger graph. But these storm systems produce liquid for the most part, and that's why on my trigger graph you're not seeing any pinks or any blues. That means rain, liquid. Look at the temperatures. Here's your freezing mark is right around here. This is at about 32 degrees right here. I think temperatures, even the overnight lows, are going to be above freezing here for at least the next 7 days. And I think it's safe to say that as we go beyond this point, as we head into next weekend and then the week after that, temperatures are going to be averaging much above normal. All right. If anything changes, of course, you'll be the first to know, and I'll let you know. But as of right now, quite a bit of a break here from wintry weather. Take care, everyone. Have a great weekend.